this is going to kind of give you an idea of how to use shapes, generic shapes, circles, squares, stars, rectangles, and rounded rectangles. We're going to be focusing and using the shape tools, and they're found underneath the text tool. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is you're going to create a new document. Shortcut for a new document is what?
Control N.
So Command N. So it's that Mac versus Window thing. So Command N. You're going to make sure that the width is 11 inches, height is 8.5. So this is standard letter size. Feel free to give this a name. Ninja. Okay. I'm going to give it a date instead. So the 1802, and we're at what, the 12th? 12, okay.
So you want to change the orientation?
One artboard. I'm actually going to leave it 11 inches wide, 8.5 inches tall. The reason is we're gonna make a few ninjas, and so they'll fit a little bit better side by side on this. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is build a body, right? So if you've ever played the game Hangman, you know that there's a head of some sort. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it in black and white with outlines first to kind of give me an indication, and then I'm going to color it after the fact. I'm going to make a body. I'm going to use the rounded rectangle, and I'm going to kind of get a shape that I kind of like. It's a little bit smaller than I want, so I'm going to click on the corners, grab the handle, click on the corner, hold Shift, and I'm going to scale it. Okay. Now you'll notice that the line thickness is different than the head shape. So I'm going to highlight, select the rounded rectangle. I'm going to use the eyedropper, and I'm going to click on the circle. And what that does is it'll copy the characteristics of that other line. So whatever item is highlighted, if I select anything that's on the artboard, red, yellow, green, blue, whatever, if I select it, it'll copy those characteristics to the item that's selected. Okay. Again, when playing Hangman, you got some arms, right? So I'm going to make an arm shape. So there's an upper arm and a lower arm, yeah? We're going to do a quick copy. So whatever shape you have, if I click on it and have it selected, you'll know if it's selected if it has bounding boxes and handles, all those indications. Simply holding the Option key down and moving it to the side, it actually changes the cursor to double arrows, and when I let go, it makes a copy. I'm going to do that one more time. Command Z to undo. I'm going to click, hold, and drag while holding Option, and it makes double arrows, and that's a quick way to make a copy, an exact copy. Hold the Option key down while you have it selected, and then just kind of move it over the top. Okay. So I'm just going to align this elbow to the arm for right now. And most folks have two arms, so I'm going to hit Command C to copy, Command V to paste, and that pastes it dead center of the artboard. I'm going to introduce you to the transform options. If you right click, so now that I have some things selected, if I right click on it, it opens up the mouse menu. Find transform. Transform means you're going to change it in some way, shape, or form. You're going to move it, you rotate it, reflect it, scale it, shear it. Does anybody know what shearing does?
Kind of cutting or trimming.
Kind of. It really, it should say slant instead of shear. What's the question?
How do you get your rectangles like round?
Okay.
Hold on.
So the question is, how do we get the rectangles rounded? So look up at the board real quick. If I click and hold on the rectangle or the shape tool, there's an actual tool called rounded rectangle. I may have skipped over that super quick. But the difference is, and you can actually get to the rounded rectangle from a regular rectangle. So instead of having to go back, I'm going to show you this little option. And I think I mentioned it in a lesson or two ago.
Oh,
Do you remember those little donuts, those little round shapes in the corners? You can make rounded rectangles from a standard rectangle by pulling on the little circles. Okay? It's similar, not the same, but every rectangle has that option to change those sharp corners to rounded corners. So it's kind of like one's default, one's standard, and then you can actually adjust it from there.
how did you do the seam, like the seam?
Say it again.
How do you get your like, see how the circles,
Oh,
and you're just going through the rectangle?
so the question is, why don't I have any fill? I highlight the items.
So go to
Yep. Double click on the fill. Right? You'll notice it has a color. Just simply click the red slash at the bottom, choose none, and it'll turn it off.
Okay.
Okay?
absolutely.
All right? So from standard rectangles, by simply manipulating and using that corner handle, it's what looks like a tiny donut in the corner. You'll notice all of these shapes have them, right? So these three rectangles were made with the rounded rectangle tool, but they still have them. So you can actually adjust the radius, make them smaller, more acute, or I can make them completely round to the maximum radius on that rectangle size. And then if I pull this all the way to the edge, I can make really, really sharp corners as well. So again, that's nested under the shape tool, right? Okay. So back to we're going to reflect this. We're going to mirror this because I want another set of arms another set of the arms. Right click on the object, choose transform, which is nested towards the bottom, and you'll see reflect. Click on reflect. It'll open up a control menu. And there's some arrows that kind of give you an indication. Reflect literally is the mirror option. You'll either flip it vertically or horizontally. We want vertically. If you check the preview box, it'll show you what you're going to end up with. If I choose horizontally, it gives me a preview of what it's going to end up being. And so you have some controls. You actually can change it to a certain degree, literally. When you get what you want, just click OK. And then I'm going to highlight these and put it where I want. All right. Time to make some legs. I'm going to use the rounded rectangle tool again. And I'm going to scale it by pulling the handles, holding shift. Okay. I'm going to make a copy by clicking, selecting it, and holding the Option key down. Okay. I'm going to make them a little bit shorter because there's going to be some kind of knee bend, and I'm going to make the lower leg. Okay. I'm going to align that. And when you guys build your ninjas, you can make them, you know, short, stout, tall, long, wide, whatever you choose. It's up to you. Okay. Again, I want just to start off, I want the line thickness to match. So I'm going to highlight some objects and click on a shape, and it'll copy those characteristics. Okay. Delete this guy. So there's my first one. That's going to be my model, if you will. And it doesn't necessarily matter the size, because we're going to end up with a couple. So if I want, I'm going to highlight everything, hold the Option key, and make a copy by sliding over and then letting go. Right? And I want this guy to be jumping. So I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to come over and use the rectangle, the rotate tool. Rotate tool simply does what it says. It looks like an arrow going in a circle. The key control is, as long as it's highlighted, if I click in this very spot, like where the hip is, if I click there, I can rotate the leg and put it where I want it. Okay? I'm going to make this guy look like he's jumping and kicking at the same time, so I'm going to use the rotate tool here. Okay. So technically, you can, any shape, as long as you have it selected, you can rotate that object. And it's rotated around its central access point, at the center of the shape. And this is the arrow. It looks like a curved arrow with tips on both ends. And simply by hovering around the edges on the outside, you notice when I'm on the inside, it's a solid black dot. That's the move tool. Okay? It wants to click and select and move it. But if I'm hovering around the handles, it makes a curved arrow with 2 points. And that symbolizes that if you click and select it, that you have the option to rotate it. So you could do individual pieces. You could do groups of pieces. Right? Make sense? Okay. So I'm going to tweak this a little bit, make it look like Mr. Ninja is going to town on somebody. Okay. So you can see just by, so what we started with was this standard just standing there character, and simply by copying and moving some shapes around, we got a wire frame, if you will. All right. There is one piece that's missing, and so let's address this. You could use the ellipse tool. Ninja's got to be able to see. Or you could use the square rectangle tool. Make him look like a robot, I guess. Robot ninjas. Or the rounded rectangle tool. So that's going to be where the eyes are going to show through. And here is just a few clicks. Okay, so now I'm going to back up. I made a few clicks. You can see the shape. It almost looks like a goose or a duck or I don't know. Maybe if you raise an ear, it looks like a dog, I guess. Okay. The nodes, the origami little swan. So I copied this. I'm going to make another copy by holding the Option key down, click and drag. I'm going to right click, open up a menu, transform and reflect. If I put them close enough, we got Angry Ninja. Okay. And if you raise one or lower one, all of a sudden we got the Rock Ninja or whatever. Okay. You can scale it, change the sizes, whatever you like. The goal is to make each ninja slightly independent and unique. Okay. And we're going to make a color. Here's where we fill this in. The swatch that's not filled, we're going to double click on it and I'm going to select a color. Got blue. I'm going to select this one, double click this, and I'm going to make this one white. Okay. And all good ninjas need what? Headband, belt, sword. All right, nunchucks. So how would you do nunchucks? So you draw kind of a stick looking thing. I'm going to draw some loops for a chain. Add a little bit of line thickness. Choose a color. Okay. So the deal is you're gonna make a few of these, and simply by changing shapes, changing colors, changing locations of things, just by using straight up shapes and things like that, you're gonna make some ninjas. For the eyes, you could keep it simple, like ovals, if you will. And by tilting them or rotating them in a certain direction, you can make them look angry, happy, nervous, scared, whatever. Okay? You can give them eyebrows if you want. But the main detail is using shapes. The limitation is no pen tool, no brush.
Oh man.
Sorry.
It's
But I want you to kind of use your creativity with just this simple tool of the rectangle, rounded rectangle, ellipse or circle, polygon. We haven't even talked about polygons, so let's talk about this shape. Stars. Ninja's got to have stars. If it automatically defaults to the standard, but if I just click, so I have the star selected, if I click and drag, it has the settings of the last time I used it. And you'll see it's got a standard star. But if I click and let go, it says, hey, what kind of star do you want to make? And so I can add a 12 pointed star. Okay. I could change the colors. I could make a copy. And I could color this guy. Black outline again. Oops, eyeballs. Okay. And then placement. Do I want the arm in back or do I want the arm in front? Do I want the leg behind or do I want the leg in front? It's up to you. You'll notice this leg is in the front. If I click on it and I go to arrange, it's in the mouse menu. I can send it to the front, send it to the back. I can bring it forward one step at a time. There are shortcuts. Shift, Command, right bracket, Shift, Command, left bracket sends it all the way to the front or all the way to the back. But Shift, bracket, either one moves it one step. So I'm just going to put this here to kind of give you an example. I'm just going to hold the Command key down and hit the bracket. And you'll see I'm just holding the left bracket, and you can see it kind of moving in order. If I click the right bracket, it moves it to the top. Left bracket moves it down in the stack. Does that make sense? You can find it manually in the right-click mouse menu, and it's under Arrange. Okay? So feel free to arrange these things in order, move things to the front, move things to the back. Add headbands. Make angry eyes or happy eyes. I'm going to give you kind of a little heads up. And regarding eyes, options, quit. If I did, here's the term, manga. How many of you knows about manga?
To be honest, I really wish I did.
Here's the thing. If you just search manga eyes, really simple cartoon style, okay? The only thing that I'm going to allow you to do the brush or the pen tool on is the eyes. So that's up to you. Everything else, body, arms, legs. If you use a mouth or nose, I want those to be shapes. The only parts of this assignment that you can use kind of a freestyle, freehand, or pen tool is the eyes. No, teeth is going to be shapes. If you're going to put teeth, use the shapes. Let's see, I'm going to cover one more thing. So triangles, what's probably the easiest way to make a triangle?
Line tool.
Line tool, so, but to obey the rules,
Oh.
okay, it's a three-pointed star. So to make a triangle, it's a three-pointed star. That's the cheat. It's not really cheating, it's just obeying the tool rules. Any questions? Okay, so this assignment, this is going to be fully rendered, colored, and due by next, see, the next time I see you is Tuesday. It'll be due next Thursday. So I need you to finish your coloring, your pen tools. It'll be up. Let's let's see, today's Wednesday. So I won't see you guys until Tuesday. And again, since we're just using shapes and we're kind of filling it with some standard color, this actually should be much easier than the pen tool assignment.
Wait, how many ninjas do we have to do?
Say again?
How many ninjas?
At least 4 so I actually introduced this into one of the 8A classes yesterday, and the intro class, and one of the girls, she submitted 8 ninjas last night. She's like an overachiever, but she's an art emphasis, but she really just kind of clicked shapes and built some stuff, and they were actually pretty cool. So change colors, feel free to do whatever you like. Again, the limitation is only shapes for the bodies and any of the tools, weapons. The only thing freehand or brush tool or pen tool would be the eyes. Got it? Rock and roll.
Wait, so there wasn't a limit how many?
No, you can do a dozen. I'm going to tell you, this is going to be the first thing that we're going to print as stickers. We're going to print these as full color stickers. So once you guys have your designs, there will be a couple setup instructions that everyone will have to follow. We're going to save. And then as a group, we're going to print a full sheet of these little ninja stickers. By the way, the girl that did it, all of her weapons were like little hearts and smileys and pink and purple and green, and it was kind of cute, really cute. I gotta find it and download it and print some of those myself. But anyway, give you kind of a heads up on what we got going next. So I want you to make sure you finish and upload your pen tool outline, pen tool colored version, and then start working on the ninja. Okay?
Is there a free transform setting or not?
To such as, what do you want
Kind
to
of
do?
get like a specific shape out of a circle. Kind of.
Oh, kind of a,
Yeah.
like a noob, a little. Or
Yeah.
no. It's the rectangles are kind of stay rectangles, but draw a square or a.
So,
Okay.
like that.
And then see the little handles. That's going to probably be the closest thing to free shape form in this vector. I am trying to limit how much it can or can't be manipulated.
So is it the brackets that can move between layers?
No, layers you have to click on it. Yeah.
Drag it.
Okay, everybody's here on time, right? Let's take roll. Adriana, Karen, Jose, William, Atkinson, Sam, Alex, Cameron, Parker, Ethan's here, Daisy, no Daisy, Aldo, David, Evan, Leo, Nathan, Flores, Micah, Vincent, Dwayne, Aiden, Benjamin.
Here.
You got my Ben or Benjamin? Doesn't matter.
Anything but Benji.
Anything but Benji. Okay. Jason, Juarez, Lexus, Sarai, Josh, Zurisadai, Shauna, Caden, Alex, Juan, Albert, Spencer, Jesus, Michael, Kylie, you are here? Okay. Timmy, Isaiah, Melissa, Luke, Twitchell, Taylor Vigil, Taylor Winder, and Carla. Okay. Why'd you say here too late? You're absent as far as I'm concerned. Are you really?
Yeah.
Which one are you, Daisy?
Yeah.
Daisy. How dare you? What? Yeah, stop that stuff. All right, hey. What do you need? What you working on? What, tired?
Yeah.
You work? Where? You making stuff up. Where do you work?
Yeah, I hope my bombs around stuff.
So,
know, but you're doing his interview.
He's
Well, I'm already done with this. I did you say multiple?
Hey, so regarding the star tool,
I don't
hang on
know.
one second. Regarding the star